I'm Ben Chan, Director of Business Systems for Sonoco Flexible Packaging. And I've been with Sonoco for a little over 18 months. And during that time frame, we have successfully installed Radius Vision 2 in 5 out of 7 of our plants. So we installed 5 locations within a 12-month period. We have 2 left to do. We should be finished our last site goes live November 1 of this year.
Why did you choose Radius Solutions, and what benefits have you realized?
Well, we chose Radius for a number of reasons. We did the adequate level of due diligence on the company, of course, and the people. But from the software, it was pretty clear to us that the application was written for our industry, which was critical in our decision process. We qualified in that 80 percentile of functional fit out of the box without any significant modifications, as opposed to a generic system which would have required probably 65% customization and 35% functional fit. So we chose Radius primarily for that reason. It was written for our industry. The benefits include business intelligence tools and web-based customer portals. All of that technology, which would actually work off the back of Radius, was important that the technology that Radius uses would fit into that scalability and that model. The use of the business intelligence tool like ClickView, we've tested it. It runs against the database. It's web-based. It's perfect for what we need for our executive team. And we've developed a web portal easily off of the tables that Radius has provided through the X-Link programs.
How important was ROI when determining which system to implement?
For a finance guy, I've also understood that actually the determination of ROI as being the reason for justification for a new system is often misunderstood and I think always misused. Our reason for the change in systems was clear, that we needed to choose one application for all the division to replace the 3 or 4 legacy systems that were in play. And with the 4 legacy systems, there was just a tremendous number of non-value-added activity and tremendous amount of retouching of the same data over and over again just to get basic information. So we actually did an analysis of what it would take to process an estimate in the old world versus the new world with Radius. And prior to Radius, we determined that the cost of just that one process flow was equivalent to half an individual's salary, annual salary. And it amounted to about 6 touches. And when you say 6 touches of the same data, that doesn't sound like a lot. When you multiply that times the number of orders and quotes that we put through as a division, that now amounts to a significant dollar value. And that was just one process flow. And we know there are countless many others that were as a result of that inefficient environment that we were in with the multiple systems. So it was very easy for us to justify changing the system without an ROI analysis. We never even brought up ROI as a reason to replace the environment we were moving from.
What are the key considerations for a successful implementation?
Without doubt, we've already talked about the first one, choosing the right application with the right company, and with Radius being an industry-specific system with the resources that are familiar with our industry, familiar with our requirements. That's key and number one. Number two, I would probably say, is getting our users, our management, to commit to only delivering on needs versus wants. And so it was very easy for me to qualify a request from anybody, whether it was a need or a want. The third thing was really making sure that the business owned the entire project. IT would be a tool to actually have the implementation carry through, but the application, the Radius application from the business rules on up, is owned by the business. We did not want to allow the implementation to delay in its go live because of seemingly waiting for that perfect situation before you flick the switch. We went live, and we know that as time progresses, we would, with the help of the Radius team, we would make those fixes and make those adjustments along the way. But the bottom line was that we were live, and we were on to our next implementation. So we got momentum, and that was really critical. And in the 5, we have not missed any dates. We've been on time, we've been on budget, and that's a result of also the plants themselves actually buying into that same committed focus. The final important criteria was to establish a repeatable process, implementable, repeatable process for our configuration. And again, to do that, you need to standardize, standardize, standardize. And the business community would commit to providing that standardization of process flow and business rules. And that commitment would then be configured by Radius for our first implementation, and then we would just repeat that in our next installation, and so on and so on.
Would you choose Radius Solutions again if you had to do it all over?
Well, I think our success has been measured by those outside of our project team. It's definitely been recognized that we have accomplished an improbable task compared to their previous experience of an implementation. So without question, I think the right company, the right application, following those 5 basic rules allow us to have a different story than what they had before. And that's what they were dying for. They were dying for a new story to be able to talk about when it comes to business systems and applications for the flexible division. And we've allowed them to forget their old story now. And so, yes, we would repeat it again.